Well, happy Tuesday, everybody, and welcome to a day in the life with DJ Brett Lee. It's been a little while since I've actually been able to come live. I was pretty sick for like a week and a half. Not gonna lie, and it made working real difficult. So finally, I'm feeling just a little better. The lungs have cleared out a little bit, and yeah, so I'm getting back to it. Today's Tuesday, and yeah, I'm finally kind of figuring out my 2020 booking schedule for DJ Life and working on some new gigs, some new ideas, as well as confirming some weddings. Not gonna lie, I'm working on 2022 already for weddings. No joke, quite serious. I don't want to sound cocky, arrogant, or like a salesman, but if anybody's looking for, what I offer at your wedding for 2021 or 2022, you may or may not want to hit me up now. I've got about 10 weddings in the books for 2021 or 2021 already, and a couple for 2022. Yeah, who'd have thought going on a little bit over 2 years ago, me hopping it back into the DJ booth full time at Legends would lead to where I'm at today. But yeah, which I'm utterly thankful for. There's so many ways my life could have gone not DJing that I'm very thankful that I'm back in the booth and it's working out correctly. But yeah, so in the last couple weeks, I've confirmed some pretty cool gigs. Not gonna lie. Next Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving, I'll be DJing down at Dublin Square for a party in the pub. That's right. One of my favorite venues back home in Chicago, or actually Evanston, is the Celtic Knot Irish pub. And being able to play there with the Mudflats for, 8-9 years nonstop every Monday, with the exception of a couple holidays, was kind of a godsend. I miss the place a lot. And Dublin Square here in La Crosse really reminds me of it. So it's kind of like feeling slightly at home. But in addition to that, I'm going to be DJing down there on St. Patrick's Day. Party on the patio. And we're in the talks. I have to send them the dates now, and we're going to confirm them later this week. But we're going to be doing a monthly party in the pub starting in 2020. I'm pretty stoked with that. Now, a couple other things in the booking realm. I'm going to be mentoring and working with some of the DJs at Dooley's in Rochester. I made a switch over there about a month and a half ago from another venue in Rochester. Wasn't bad. It was just a lateral move that I thought was more appropriate for what I'm doing and where I want to be. Plus, they've got 33 video screens. Yeah. But, so, I'm sending them my dates today as well, and I'm going to be working with some of their DJs and showing them my train of thought and how I work, my mental process when I'm mixing my sets. From there, I also have confirmed that the 4th of April, so 4/4/2020, we're going to be having an adult prom at Who's on Third. That's right. A month before the formal proms and all that stuff for the kids, let's let the adults have one good shindig and night of getting hammered. Plus, it's right before my full-on wedding season starts. It'll kind of be a kickoff for me to stop partying. But actually, wedding season this year kicks off for me on January 11th at All-Star Lanes here in La Crosse. And yep, so I'm only taking about 5 weeks off for weddings between 2019 and 2020. And thank God for that. I'm utterly feeling blessed that people are inviting me to do their weddings in the middle of winter and want what I offer. I'm still in awe about that. But yeah, so we've got those in the works right now. And later this week, finally, I'm going to come back out and I set my deck up at home and actually show people a little bit more into how I spin, what I do, what mixes I make, and how I make my mixes. What I'm thinking live, what I'm thinking if I'm just screwing around here at home and all that. But yeah, today is generally going to be me squaring up some booking, following up on some weddings, and really trying to finalize and hone in on the rest of my schedule through June of 2020. For the booking aspect of it, I like to be booked out as far as I possibly can for a couple of reasons. One, if anything should cancel or anything happens, I hopefully have enough time to compensate and rebook those dates. But also now, I've set a standard for myself that I want to be booked out that far, so I can kind of calculate in my head what kind of finances I'm going to be working with. For example, yeah, December, I don't have any weddings. And I've got a couple of really good big gigs. But outside of that, it's not like wedding season, so I have to budget my money accordingly. The joys of being self-employed. Some of you DJs already, know about that, etc. So I'm trying to shore up all of that through June, give or take. Like, I'll probably hold up a little bit on May, being graduation month in La Crosse, Menominee, because you got Stout up in Menominee. I honest to God, love DJing up Menominee. Those kids go hard. Then, of course, La Crosse, graduation weekend here. Winona State University up in Winona, and I'm DJing the last Friday before graduation up there. So that's part of what I'm working on as well. But in the booking realm of it, it's been an interesting year, and I've learned a lot about the market I'm in so far as, who you can pair up with, trustworthiness, etc. And words of advice I'm going to give to people. When you're booking yourself and when you're working with other people, be sure you can trust who you're working with. I learned a little bit about that this year, and thank God. And this is something I've learned since I left the joint in 2003. Some of you do or don't know that. I screwed up pretty badly. But I learned a lot and this is why I made the post about, the priest dancing at my set Saturday. That was a little wigged out. I have a very big faith in the good Lord above. I may not be openly preachy about it, but for my life to be where it is, one, obviously work your ass off, but two, I can't, there's things I can't explain away, and I can only explain to the good Lord above. Now, I'm not I don't go to church often, honestly, and I would like to think that when I, meet my maker, that my attendance at church isn't the only thing that would keep me out of, going through the pearly gates. But at the same time, I think that the lessons we learn in life, being the spiritual, religious portion of me, and how we treat each other and how we act, etc., is a big part of who we are and how we are looked upon by our peers and the good Lord above. But I'm not going to get preachy about my religious thoughts. I'm just thankful that the good Lord above has seen it fit that I can take this path. So yeah, I'm today working on booking, like I said, and I've got my, my usual calendar of notes. And this is where I'm at on my music stuff right now. As I get closer and closer to my favorite gig of the year, New Year's Eve at the W in Madison, I start looking at what songs I probably will play, what I won't, things I just don't want to play that I've overplayed in my head. So putting taking certain crates and taking my top hits from those and putting those into my main folder now are becoming a priority so I can prep for New Year's Eve starting at next week when whiskey season starts. I've got to prep and, get my club sets ready. There's also a couple other cues I want to purge and add to my stepper cue. My oldies, and then my classic rock. I need to add some stuff to it, and I need to change some of the stuff in there that I feel personally I've gotten stale about. Then there's another couple other things I want to update for my wedding season next year, which is my fun, my party rock, and just my classic rock that should be part of my wedding file. That's something I never really thought about until I started playing to a lot of different crowds here in La Crosse. Now, a joke I'll make is a wedding is very white, for example, meaning that I can't play hip hop, I can't play the R&B. They're looking for, electronic pop stuff, classic rock, and country. And so with that, this is what this is about. The next thing I want to do is add to my dinner vocal jazz tracks and my dinner pop tracks. I've been offering a couple of different things when I do my dinner music. One of which is, I can play vocal jazz during cocktail hour, play traditional instrumental jazz during dinner, and then segue out of that with a little pop and rock until we get to the first dances and get people in the mood to party. Or I can kind of keep a very fun, upbeat, happy, top 40 kind of sound going with a little bit of, vocal jazz, a little bit of country pop, a little bit of pop, a little bit of classic rock, a nice hodgepodge of it all. and some oldies thrown in there for all demographics. I like doing that better, honestly, than I like doing traditional dinner stuff. Because when I'm able to play an entire mix of adult contemporary, pop, some classic rock, some oldies, I can watch what people's heads and mouths are doing during cocktail and dinner hour. And if their heads are bopping to what, like certain songs, like, say for example, I play Rusted Roots, Send Me On My Way. Now I know that people, and I see a lot of heads bopping. I already know they're in the mood to dance and have a good time. So now I'm looking at it like, okay, what genres are we going to go with? Based on the request list from the bride and groom and their must play list, what do I come up with for everything else? Because when you get those lists, it might fill an hour or two of music. But in a reception like I had Saturday, I had 5 hours of dance music to kill. So it makes you consider every aspect of the wedding and what you're playing musically. So that's another thing I got to do. Next, one thing, and you'll even see I have it New Year's Eve crate. Now, one thing I've been really telling myself I need to do to better what I offer and get some new train of thought is watch some wedding videos on YouTube. Excuse me for a minute. I have to tell my dumb dog to stop chewing on its cage. Come. Sit. I did not say shake. Anyway, that's my dog Daisy. She is the Employee of the Year 2019 for the DJ Bretley Experience, although she does nothing. Not a darn thing except make my life hell. But yeah, so that's one thing I'm going to be doing this week is watching some more wedding videos in the off season just to see if there's anything else that I can do to better myself. Now, Daisy's been out for a 2-mile walk this morning, out in the backyard for about an hour, and she's still wound up. This dog has more energy than anything I know. There's Mira's cat, Scooter, out cold. And our older dog, Hunter, is around the side of the couch, out cold. It's just this one, yes, this one, who will not go to sleep and just has to be up in my butt all day long. Get that stretch in, dog. But yeah, so the next thing I got to do is I got to reprogram my lights because I've got a couple new ideas or make some new programming numbers for what I'm using at my next shows. Yes, I need a haircut, but now since wedding season's over, I might decide to pretend I'm a hipster for a few months. Next thing is I've been contacting record labels. And the reason being is that back when I started off as a DJ, and hats off to Leroy Fields and Wilbur, may he rest in peace, the two people that mentored me and got me started in the DJ and VJ world were those two men. And my start initially was at Medusa's in Chicago as a video jockey. And then I decided that I needed to learn the turntable aspect of it and bought a pair of 12s and all that good crap and had them at home. But then I took it downtown to Division Street in Chicago and learned more. Went back to Club 950, then went down to Division Street again, and finally kind of just went back and then did some, other, Hawkeyes and a couple other places back in Chicago. But that was in the 90s. But back then, we did what were called listening parties, where a record label would send you free copies of a single, and they would also send, like a couple play copies so the DJ could play we play tracks from that album all night and give away singles throughout the night or merch or whatever they had. I actually got a really nice response from Universal Records. So, yours truly is going to start trying to work out, the specs on it all to do listening parties with Universal for some of the albums and releases they have coming out. And incorporate those into my club nights here in La Crosse, at Dooley's in Rochester, Tavern 129, etc. Now, a couple other things I have to move a couple of dates around in my calendar. Then, additionally this week, I do have some client work to do. I have to send some dates to Dublin Square, and Dublin Square poster I have to get done today. Another note I have is a lot of the party barns are having, and venues are having events to, open houses to show their venues off. I've been hitting up some, and I'll be doing some events at some venues over when spring starts, focusing on the 2021 and 2022 wedding seasons. Now, my post pumps, that's when I bump my posts up every day for weddings and certain groups I'm in. It does help. No matter what kind of advertising you do, put it out there everywhere. Now, I've already done my Wednesday promo for karaoke at the Driftless Arcade, but now with Essential Entertainment and me booking karaoke for a couple other DJs, Lee Day and Andrew Leonard specifically, I had to promote their karaoke night through Essential Entertainment's page. Now, I want to clean my house a little bit, and today I also, it's Tuesday. It's the third Tuesday of the month. And that means yours truly will be over at Grounded in the heart of downtown La Crosse playing some acoustic guitar at their open mic. I'm hosting it, and we're going to have some fun making music tonight. Not pre-recorded. You just don't know what's going to come out of me, but we're going to make some music at Grounded tonight. But that's my goals for today. And then later this week, I'm contacting shows. I've been in touch with some show promoters about being a DJ to open some shows up. As well, I've got some ideas here that I'm working on too. Anyway, now, and this week is the end of what is my 2019 wedding season. Daisy, stop chewing on your cage. Sit. Stay. Good shake. But yeah, so that's about along the short of life in DJ Bretley for today. Daisy wants to say hi, everybody. This is Daisy, again. She's all wound up. She wants her attention. But yeah, this is what I do every morning. And so I'm going to sign off and get back to it. I hope everybody has a great day. And yeah, to all my fellow DJ friends out there, may your dance floors always be packed.